Hey everyone, welcome back to the garage. Today is Deconstruction Day. So I'm trying something that feels completely goofy and ridiculous, and I have the GoPro strapped to my head because it'll be better for audio basically. And I don't know, in a first person perspective. We'll see what it's like. Maybe I'll ditch it, maybe it'll be great. You gotta try, right? So the first thing to do today is let's get this hood off of here so that you can see, so I can see, and have a little room to breathe. And because I am a lone wolf, I am doing this by myself. Not the smartest thing to do in the world. But as you can see, this is not the cleanest windshield in the world either, so really wouldn't be the end of the world if something were to happen to it. And not the first time I've done this little procedure. Alright, get it off of there. And we can slide it forward all on the rails so I can get a good grip on it. Don't have to worry about the paint job because it's terrible. Lightweight hoods. They're a good thing. Ooh, what a nice view now. Alright, well let's start with getting this intake off of here. It's one of those parts that will be no more. It's almost sad because it's part of the car since I got it. Basically, this whole intake setup has been. And that's one thing I've always been real persistent about, is keeping the stock intake tubing, because basically everything I've read and researched about it shows that these flow just as good as the aftermarket. And are you a 10? I think you're an 8. Yeah, you're an 8. And they are much better at controlling heat than are those metal fangled things. You know, some of them, like the K&N, are plastic indeed, and are good at controlling the heat, and have a nice box over here that they'll seal this off from the header. That's always been something I've fought, is the heat in this general area. Again, that'll no longer be a problem soon. A little bit of intake hose. This is the idle air control valve. Indeed it is. A lot of this is actually factory hosing. Pretty good hoses those Nissan guys used back in the day. Pretty good hoses. Well, let's get the battery out of here. Their little makeshift tie down. It's another thing that will, well, that's no more. This will be getting moved. This is going to have to go back in the hatch. Well, not this specifically. It's going to have to be a dry cell. Never put lead acid batteries in the car with you. Not a good idea. Battery no more, and hey, look at that, my plate is still pretty much attached. This whole section was rusted out when I got this chassis. Actually, it was more than rusted. I think this whole section was pushed in some too, because the whole front, you can see that this is all bent up. The whole front of this car had been hit in this corner when I got it, so we took this out of a junkyard car and riveted it in there, and it's still pretty solid after all these years. Alright, well let's see about maybe getting the rest of this wiring harness out of here too. And first blood of the project goes to you. Okay, radiator drained. And don't worry, that's not actually the color of my coolant. It's just also the catch I use for oil. And yes, it's a pot. A flower pot. Don't judge me. You know, as I'm working away here, it comes to mind that it's actually pretty cool to have a car that you do multiple generations of builds with, because of things like this and things like this. You know, the things you do just to get by when you're getting the car together, and then, you know, as time moves on, you want to do different things. You get to like correct your past mistakes or your past shortcuts. And yeah, this is one of the things I definitely want to tidy up on the new version of this car. You know, there's no reason to have this fuse box here duct taped together anymore. I feel a lot more confident with my wiring ability, so yeah, I'll probably extend some of those wires out and get that fuse box somewhere more manageable. In fact, it could probably come over into here now, because the intake, it comes through here, and the actual air filter sits right here. So yeah, make a lot more sense over there. These heater hoses and this heater core is probably something I'm going to keep around. A lot of people, when they're doing a build like this, would probably get rid of them. And yeah, we even did that on the other 240 I work on, Brent's. It's you know, it's bypassed, but I just don't really see a reason to do it. And it's, you know, a little bit of insurance. It gives you a little bit more coolant in the system, and it gives you you know, a backup option if you need to cool the thing down. Even if it does introduce more of these stupid rubber hoses that just like to rupture. Yeah, we're making pretty good progress. Even though I'm going to be reusing this fuel rail, I'm going to go ahead and pull it off the intake, because it makes getting to those bolts a little easier. And it'll be nice and easy to do since we just so recently did it. And it's gone. Let's go ahead and take these off too, because they like to get lost. Now when you look at this intake manifold, this is not what they originally look like. This is with, here's the EGR block-off plate right here. So that's all been removed. This is an S14 intake manifold, so it doesn't have the throttle plates in the intake. So yeah, this is a simplified intake manifold to begin with. The one we're putting on the car is even more simplified than this. When we get down in there, the PCV system, we'll have to look at it when it's off. You can kind of see one right here. There's this line of vacuum lines that run just to where the runners meet the head. Those runners are blocked off on the new manifold, so I have to figure out how he's plumbing the vacuum for the PCV. Things to figure out. Oh, this is one of my least favorite parts of KA's. Actually taking off the intake manifold. I'm considering separating it because it'd be a little bit easier. But sometimes it's a pain to get the bottom half out. Decisions. The classic used to be a stud, now a bolt. Gotta love it. And now I remember the bottom intake is held on by a bracket on the bottom, maybe two. I think there's actually one by the alternator too. That's what makes the bottom one so hard to get out of there. Yep, that's one right there, right? Yep. Okay, let's see, there's one, and I doubt you can see them, but they're up here. There's the other two, and then there's one, I think, down below, yep. So, I might as well bite the bullet and take off that oil filter. It's gonna be full of oil, isn't it? It shouldn't be. All oil should be in the pan. We'll see. Dry as a bone. Alright, now we can see a little better. Well, I can see better, I don't know about you. Hey, look who's separating now. Could you not actually? Could you not separate at the moment? That'd be great. I think I probably need to get that bottom one out too, which is going to be a pain in the butt. And that's out of there. Alright, well, let's take this back out and see what we got. I don't know what else is going to be hanging this thing up, but there's got to be something. Should probably be hanging on to this. Okay, well, that's pretty good progress. Alright. Heater hose. Heater hose. You're going to be a pretty easy one. Yeah. Ooh, that's a hose that needed to be replaced. See how crunchy it is? That's never a good thing. Look at the corrosion there too. That's why coolant is always rusty. Alright, so who's next? Who's the next problem child? That... Okay, that's a blocked off hose, alright. Feels like it's kind of this heater core hose that's doing it. Okay, we released something from somewhere. This kind of needs to come off. Yeah, it's gotta be the heater core hose. Yeah, just pee right on the alternator. That's great for it. I'm not always the most gentle mechanic in the world. Alright, can we slide you back in? Let's unclip that fuel filter. Let's see what that gives us. We still have somebody else. Let's look. Let's take a look, see. Something in the back. Right? Or is it just hung? Feels like it's just hung up on something. There it goes. I swear to you, all of the stuff was perfectly clean when I installed it. But that's what years of road driving and one main seal failure will do for you. You see, oh, it's stuff like this. That is so me. This is so something I would do. But no, we must be better than this now. Hey, a little bit more coolant for that alternator. It's real good for it. Real good for it. But now, these bolts are accessible. Hello, thunderstorms. Let's go ahead and remove all the bottom bolts first. Makes sense, doesn't it? Sure it does. Alright, now I actually want to... I want to record the lengths of these guys. Okay, so we would have one bolt here, one bolt here. Let's see if I can stab myself. Bolt here and here, and then another one. Yeah, and yeah. This one's kind of offset. Top and kind of down below there. Alright. So, we have the one at the bottom. Apparently I should use a bigger screwdriver. We'll be alright. And let's get the next one from the bottom. Ooh, I kind of miscounted there, didn't I? No, I didn't. I just wasn't looking. Boy, you can tell that one's near the coolant. Alright, let's get the bolts out. These are the two weird ones, because they go from pretty far back. Alright, this is second to last. And the last guy here is the nut on the stud that, believe it or not, is actually still a stud. It is a miracle. I'll just put that in there. That's a generic nut. Come on. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Alright, so now just the PCV system is hooked up. I should be able to get to that. Yeah. I like to do this without breaking any of these hoses because I don't know about reusing them. And that is why you always remove or you replace your intake manifold gaskets if you remove the intake manifold, because they get very brittle. Go. And that is that. Top half. There's the PCV system I was talking about. And I replaced these pipes, these hoses, I mean, when I put this on, because these are get very brittle and they break all the time. Always a good thing to replace. Alright, there we have it. There is the bare head. Boy, it's been a long time since I've seen that. Now, one thing to note, this is where the knock sensor should be. I have not been running a knock sensor for a couple of years now. That's one thing I need to reinstall because it will be part of the new system. But I couldn't just leave this hanging here without test fitting the supercharger on there. So that is what I shall do. And believe it or not, it actually goes right on there. Didn't have to move anything but push the brake lines back a little. I could see some clearance issues with the radiator hose, bottom radiator hose, but all things to worry about in the future. Just really wanted to get it on there because it just looks so darn cool. Well, that's going to be enough progress for today. Thanks as always for watching. I'm pretty happy with how the audio quality and everything turned out for this. So let me know what you think, and stay tuned for more. Oh, one last thing, I got the automation decal, and where do you think I should put it? On the back window or on the side window? I'm just always deceiving because it deceives you to think you're going left there.